So probably arguably the most bullish thing that could happen for the CRO token before the end of the year that could bring the price back up. It's probably a spot Cronos ETF getting approved. And the problem with that right now is we could be seeing some delays. How long are we going to see these delays? Is this Cronos ETF, spot ETF, going to be approved officially by the SEC in 2025? Well, let's talk a little bit about it, as there's quite a bit of fear in this crypto market today. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, guys. We're going to keep the content coming to you guys, bull market or bear market. Looking at what's going on today, there are a few coins that are up. That being said, there are still a lot that are really, really struggling right now. And Crow coin is, not one of the biggest losers today, but it is down 3%. If we look right now at coin market cap and just see what the rank is for Cronos, this token is currently sitting at rank number 27 at 12 cents at a $4.4 billion market cap. Now, you know that there's a government shutdown, right? And in my video earlier today, what I discussed was that the crypto market structure bill is going to be delayed. Well, something you need to be aware of, guys, is these Cronos ETFs, or Cronos, which is what the AI overview on Google wants to call Cronos. It will be delayed. It has been delayed because the government shutdown that's in effect. It's, a lot of people are really worried about the government shutdown, and we don't have to be tremendously worried about it. It's annoying. Those politicians, but the worst thing about it is that the Cronos ETF is going to be delayed. And even if the Cronos ETF was put out there, there's no guarantee, guys, that could be some bigger catalyst to get a sustainable run for Cronos, right? I mean, look at Ethereum as an example, right? We had an Ethereum ETF that came out this year, and Ethereum barely wicked above previous all-time highs. So a Cronos ETF comes out, that doesn't necessarily mean that, you're going to have Crow to the moon, right? I've been bullish on Crow for a long time. I'm still bullish on the CRO token, but if we're going into a bear market, I'm not really that bullish in the short, in the short term on it. A bear market lasts about almost 400 days, okay? Just under 400 days. And so what I look for if we do go into that is buy the dip opportunities. Now, what if the Cronos ETF actually comes out and the government shutdown ends, let's say, and the SEC, who's currently operating with a skeleton crew, gets their stuff together and approves the Cronos ETF, right? Well, it could cause a little bit of a pump. It could cause a little bit of a rally. But there's no telling when the government shutdown is going to end. Right now, we're at a record. So that's just the reality of this situation right now. Because of what's going on in this market today, I'm on the short side of a trade right now for Bitcoin, and you could be shorting it. You could be longing it. It doesn't matter whether you're trading Crow, Pepe, Bitcoin, ETH, Solana. There's a lot of different places to do it. But if you haven't signed up for these platforms in the description, like if you haven't signed up for Blowfin and taken advantage of the 10% trade rebate and the $5,000 sign up deposit bonus, well, those are there for you for the taking, guys, and you can sign up using the links in the description down below. If we are going to see lower prices for Crow and you get a bigger altcoin crash, it's, technically you could short that, right? Blacksea, I believe, is in a short position on Crow right now. It doesn't mean that he doesn't like Crow, and that doesn't mean that he doesn't believe in a future for CRO. It's just taking advantage of the volatility in the market, right? But what's the optimism here? Well, Bitcoin has crashed 20% 7 times in the cycle, okay? So just because we're getting a retracement today doesn't necessarily mean that it's over, right? It's something you got to keep in mind. One thing I've been saying is a bull market lasts 1,065 days. You know this if you've been watching our channel. If not, well, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. Note that I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to give financial advice. There have been these 4-year cycles, but we've also seen in this bull market several 20% crashes, okay? So here we are down 21% from the highs. Again, Bitcoin's crashed 20% 7 times in this cycle. There's a chance we get a recovery. You have people that believe we still get a new all-time high before the end of 2025. Remember, there is quantitative tightening coming in December, yes, but I kind of still remain at that 2080 thing, or 20% chance of a bull market in my mind, 80% chance of bear market. Not necessarily because of this government shutdown, just because of the 4-year cycle, which I still believe in, because right now it's still on track. But it's important to know, if you're curious, when's the Cronos ETF going to come out? Not till 2026, probably. We're not going to get the crypto market structure bill till 2026, as I told you guys earlier. You're probably not going to get these Cronos ETFs till 2026. So price action for CRO right now. Well, let's start with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is falling on the weekly time frame. It has broken out of this wedge that I was looking at personally. And frankly, it doesn't look too good. You have some people that are calling for a dip down to $92,000 for Bitcoin, right? And that makes sense, right? Just kind of flush with some of these bottoms right there. If Bitcoin comes down to $92,000, that's another 10% crash for Bitcoin. If that happens, what do you think happens for CRO? Well, a 10% crash, probably at least, maybe a 13% crash. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Bitcoin go down to 92,000 or 90,000 to see easily CRO at 10 cents, okay? Now, if Bitcoin falls below $90,000, I think very quickly we could start falling back down to the 8 or 9 cent level, maybe even back down to complete this wick, right? One thing we said when we saw this flash crash is that's really scary. There's a chance, because of that wick, that we go visit the bottom of that wick and we find some candles that fill in until we fulfill the wick. Maybe we can get a bounce there. But as that wick is sitting there and it's there, nothing we can do about it now, there's a chance that we could fill that wick. That's a 6-cent price. That's tough. That's tough to think about. That's some bear market stuff. If we're going into a real full-on bear market, you could see altcoins, which have historically crashed 90%, a 90% crash from the highs is basically a new low for CRO. I don't even want to talk about that yet. If we do get down to those levels, look, I still believe that CRO can get to $1 one day. Just, from a market cap standpoint, I think that that's achievable. You look at Binance versus crypto.com. We've done that conversation 1,000 times. I still believe in that. But I also still kind of believe in the 4-year cycle. And with that being said, if Bitcoin goes into a bear market and goes to 80, 70K or lower, CRO is going to fall quite a bit lower. Where's the hope? You're not giving us any hope. I'll give you some hope. Here's your hope. We're at a 20% crash right now. We've seen many of these. Maybe we find a bounce here. Maybe we get continuation. Maybe this time it's different. But for now, the 4-year cycles are on track. That's why I'm in a short position. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. That's how I'm doing it. And if you want to trade, there are affiliate links in the description down below. You can trade to the short side, to the long side. It doesn't matter. But if we're going into a bear market, it's going to be tough to buy a coin and find any gains if the prices are going down. So trading's my solution. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to give financial advice. As always, guys, I'm here to give you the news as I see it. My unbiased opinion, as unbiased as I can be. I love crypto. We're not going anywhere. We're going to keep the content coming. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel, DCA Hodl. 2 videos here if you want to check them out. I'll see you in the next one, y'all. Peace.